You are now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakeney.
We weren't anticipating any of them having a bad shooting night. Booker's a great player. She gets to her spots. I thought she did a great job rebounding. Like she was a beast on the board. She got a really crucial rebound in the fourth quarter where we got the stop. It's just we had to switch. Breezy wasn't on her, smaller guard on her. She took advantage of it, gave them another possession, and they scored. So I thought it was a well-coached game on both sides of the ball, and I thought they out-toughed us for 3 out of the 4 quarters.
This was a tough game for them. They got outclassed. They got beat at their own game, man. Texas was more physical. They were the aggressor. They came out and set the tone early. South Carolina never really led in this game. Like, Texas just took every punch they were throwing and kept punching back. Just, man, Texas showed some serious fight today, man. Like, the SEC is not a cakewalk this season. The SEC is absolutely not a cakewalk. The league got much tougher with the additions of Texas and Oklahoma. This was a win we needed to see from Texas to see if they really were one of the top 4 teams in the country, and they proved it. They proved it. Texas is absolutely a Tier 1 team in the SEC. They are the biggest challenge to South Carolina, which I had said at the beginning of the season. We saw the real Texas tonight, man. They came out with a game plan. Coach Vic Schaefer tired of getting his butt whooped by Don Staley at multiple schools. And he came in with a game plan and they executed. They were Texas tough tonight. A salute to Madison Booker not getting down on herself, playing through disruptions, playing through that South Carolina defensive pressure, pushing forward. And, man, she, 20 points, 11 rebounds, got the double-double. Malaysia Wiley, the only player for South Carolina that got double figures this season. Double figures in this game. This is a game where you miss Camila Cardoso. This is a game where you absolutely miss Ashlyn Watkins' length, her athletic ability, her size, her aggressiveness. Like, let's not forget, Ashlyn Watkins was the enforcer for this team, and especially defensively. With her length would have been really good on Oldacre. Her speed, her length, her physical nature, her athletic ability, being up at a beat Oldacre up and down the court. Like, Ashlyn Watkins' defensive presence is absolutely missed by this team. And I remember when she went down, a lot of South Carolina fans, I feel like, I don't want to generalize, but just from my experience and what I was seeing in my chats and comments and stuff like that on videos, like, people were kind of like, shrugging that injury off, like, we'll be all right. We ain't sweating it. We got all these other front court players, but they don't do what Ashlyn Watkins does. So great point there, man. I definitely think this is a game where they miss Ashlyn Watkins, for sure. The South Carolina kryptonite, Kyla Oldacre. Oh my goodness. She was just so big, so physical in this contest, man. Like, Texas really dominated in the paint. They continued to crash the glass. They got it inside to their bigs. Taylor Jones was good in this game as well. I mean, the offensive rebounds for Texas was a big difference. Missed free throws for both teams were a big difference in this contest as well. Man, and I gotta get the stats for you fine folks as well. Let me see. Solid, yep, solid win from Texas. Definitely, man, definitely. I'm not blaming the refs for the loss, but it was a major disruption. I do agree. The refs definitely disrupted the flow of the game, man. That was a big difference. I absolutely agree with that. For both sides, like, it was just a really, like, sloppy, drawn out game, man. Way too many fouls. It felt like there were a lot of clean blocks that got called fouls on both sides. For sure, no one could get into a rhythm. It was a start and stop. Agreed. Agree. Absolutely agree with you there. Absolutely agree with you there. Like it was tough for both teams to really solidify any type of rhythm in this game. It would have definitely been way more high scoring and fast paced, I think, without the fouls. The refs were doing a little too much. I do agree, but Texas deserves all of the credit, man. Like they came out, they executed their game plan. They knew they had to be tough, they had to be physical and push through. They took South Carolina's best punches and kept on punching themselves, man. And it was just a gutsy performance. It really was. And it shows you that the SEC got a lot tougher from last season. The SEC got a lot tougher. This is not a cakewalk. Nothing in this league is guaranteed. Man, what a game. What a game, what a game, what a game. Hey guys, give me your initial takeaways, man. Like, honestly, like I said, the game was won in the paint. It was won on the glass. The game was absolutely won on the paint, on the glass. Second chance opportunities, offensive rebounds. South Carolina did not get enough of them, man. And we did not see that same efficiency on the glass that we saw when they played Georgia and when we saw against a lot of these other teams. Shout out to Coach Vic Schaefer, coaching an excellent game, keeping his team motivated, and they come away with the win, man. It was still a tough shooting night for a lot of Texas players, including Madison Booker, who finished with 20 points. And it was a really rough shooting night for Rory Harmon, man. She really didn't offer up a whole lot in this game. I was kind of disappointed, I ain't gonna lie. But other than that, like, bro, the supporting cast, I like what we saw from the freshman Jordan Lee. Y'all can see Texas took the dub 66-62. Like, it was a total team effort. Texas just made some big shots. They can't shoot a three to save their life. That's for sure. And I think, man, South Carolina had them in trouble when they shrunk the floor, went into that zone, and forced Texas to shoot it. They got away from that. Texas did a good job with the handoffs, the ball reversals, and just making a conscious effort to really pound the paint inside. The foul trouble on Sanaya Fagan definitely hurt South Carolina. You could tell like the difference maker she is on both sides of the floor. She could not stay on the court though, man, and they really needed her to guard Oldacre too, because she was punishing Chloe Kitts and Joyce Edwards down there. Just sheer size, man, sheer size. She was too much. I mean, you got a 6'4" post player with a 6'10" wingspan, and she used every inch against South Carolina. My gosh, they couldn't keep her off the glass, man. She was South Carolina's kryptonite, and that's why I put her on the thumbnail. She was definitely South Carolina's kryptonite. And you can see some of the numbers right there, kind of just getting into the stats a little bit there. Oh yeah, hey man, if we get, I hope we get a round three. Bam, I hope we get a round three. I really hope we get a round three because that is going to feed families, man. Texas, a very worthy opponent. Looking at the breakdown, they win it 66-62. They hold South Carolina to 36.8% from the field, while Texas shot 44.1% from the field. Texas went 0 of 4 from three. They won this game and did not make a three-pointer. The free throws were crazy though, man. South Carolina went 15 of 23 from the free throw line. Texas went 14 of 21. Both of them shot under 70% from the free throw line. On the rebounding side, man, 42 rebounds for both squads. You look at Texas though, man, the offensive rebounds 16, defensive rebounds 28. South Carolina actually won the offensive rebounding battle. But Texas really, I think, made the most of their extra possessions. The assist battle was close. The turnovers was even. Texas had 9 steals. But look at the fouls, bro. There were, and I'm not blaming the refs for anything, but 38 fouls. 38 fouls called in this contest. 38 fouls. I'm just saying, man. Like, that's a bit ridiculous. Like, that's a lot of fouls. 38 fouls? That's insane. Like, the whistles were not staying in the pockets today. And you see what's going on with the individual stats. Malaysia Fulwali also suffered a stinger, went out of this game for a little bit. I think that kind of hurt the momentum for them as well for South Carolina. But looking at it, man, leading the way, Malaysia Fulwali had 13 points off the bench, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. Tessa Johnson and Tahina Pau, as well as Breezy Hall from 3, hit some really big shots for South Carolina to keep them in this contest. Raven Johnson, 1 point, 3 assists, 4 rebounds. It was a tough shooting night for South Carolina. Absolutely, like, brutal shooting night for them. Chloe Kitts, I think, was aggressive in the first half and kind of fizzled out and disappeared. You want to see her be more aggressive on both sides of the basketball. But Malaysia Fulwali, the only South Carolina player that scored in double digits. So take that as what you will, man. On the other side, Texas's stars stepped up. Texas's stars absolutely stepped up in this contest, for sure. Madison Booker, 20 points, 3 assists, 11 rebounds. Still not an efficient shooting night for her, but definitely much improved. Like, you're not going to hold a player like Madison Booker down 2 games straight. Breezy Hall did the best she could on Booker. I think Booker did a great job of using her size advantage in the post and posting up Breezy Hall. Also, in that pick and roll, man, I think they were way more efficient in the pick and roll as well, creating space for themselves. As Texas is not a good shooting team, man, but they definitely got everything they wanted in the paint tonight. And you wonder, like, this could have been a game for Tack to maybe get some more minutes, or Walker, like, to really use their size to try to match up on Oldacre, because she was a big difference maker in this game as well, man. Oldacre had 13 points, 1 assist, 6 rebounds. And to be honest, she gave South Carolina hell the last time these two teams played as well, man. I love the defense from Shea Holly as well as Jordan Lee in the backcourt. Militanda was really good, 8 points, 1 assist, 5 rebounds, sparking off the bench. Like, Texas got some really good minutes from their reserves. And, I mean, just imagine, man, Texas is still without Layla Filia, who will be out for the season with that eye surgery. Like, that's 18 point per game score they were missing last year. So, that's just another thing to consider, man. But this was a big win for Texas. I think Texas needed this win more than South Carolina did, and they just came out with more urgency.